This is a post on Instagram.
What's in the box?
This is from Diets Don't Work Haze. Now, I know we don't like this account, but it's about thin privilege. It's about thin privilege. Everyone, drop some biceps and gorillas in the comments if you got some thin privilege. How about swole privilege? Fuck yeah. All right. This shit account writes, if you have thin privilege if you have thin privilege if you aren't afraid of being judged by your doctor or told just lose weight for the 15th time. You can walk into most stores and find your clothing size. Oh, thin privilege. Thin privilege. I can find a clothing. I can find clothing that fits me. You have thin privilege if you don't get a job promotion. If you don't get a job promotion, you don't immediately think it is because of your body size. You can, if you don't get a job promotion, you're like, oh, maybe I'm fat. All right. All right. Sorry, something going on. Okay. If you don't get a job promotion, you don't immediately think it is because of your body size. Well, if you think that, maybe it is. Seriously, maybe it is. Some jobs you shouldn't be morbidly obese. Shocker. You have thin privilege if you can book an airplane seat without worrying how you fit. I book airplane seats, and airplane seats are not supposed to be comfortable. They're supposed to be efficient. They're supposed to get you through the fucking sky. They're supposed to lift your ass off the ground, fly you thousands of miles across space and time, and deliver you in one piece. They're not concerned with whether or not you fit comfortably with your armrest. And they're trying to fit more than one person on a plane. This isn't Operation Dumbo Drop. Okay? You remember that movie? No one does. Maybe one person does. All right? It's not a cargo plane. All right, there's another page to this. People in larger bodies face consistent systemic oppression and discrimination that they bring upon themselves. And they want this. You want this. You want this. People that are running their mouths want this. Because if you lost weight, guess what? You'd be criticized and ostracized from people that are making believe that being obese is healthy. So anyone that promotes this shit is literally pushing themselves in the corner, because once they build an audience of this pro-fat nonsense. And then when they lose weight, you're fat phobic for losing weight. You betrayed your people. This is cause and effect. If you're obese and you treat your body like shit, you're going to pay the price, the ultimate price. Examples include being denied healthcare because of their weight, having to lose X amount of pounds to get a life-saving surgery. That's not discrimination. That's safety. That's safety. That's a safety concern. Discrimination in the workplace, fewer job opportunities and lower pay. Well, you're going to have less job opportunities. You're not as healthy. If you're obese, you're not as healthy. It's going to be more sick days. So that's less production, not to mention more higher health or issues or risk. And a lot of jobs that are physical, you're going to have a heart attack on the job. You're not going to be able to move as effectively. You're not going to be able to be as fast. It depends on the job. It depends on the position. And there's nothing wrong with the company not hiring someone because of their body size. There's nothing wrong with it, because it could be directly related to performance concerns. It's a health concern for the company. It's a production concern for a company. If you have health consequences, you're going to be missing a lot of work because you're always at the doctor's office complaining about the doctor taking your body weight. The doctor asked my body weight. If you're in the doctor every other fucking week, then you're not at work. I'm just saying, it depends on the job. It can be very important that you're not morbidly obese. If you're doing computer coding, I guess you could be in a basement somewhere and just texting and sucking down big gulps. Okay, but a lot of jobs require you to be productive. And there's a reason why, there. No, we'll go on a different road. Okay, examples include unable to find clothing in their size. There's a lot of clothing. There's a lot of big clothing out there. It's not that hard. And if you're that big that you can't find clothing, this is exactly what we're talking about. It's not the fact that there's no clothing. It's the fact that how do you get to that size where you can't find fucking clothing that fits? Any clothing. Clothing is huge out there. It's hard to find something that fits someone that's in shape. It's not easy finding clothing, period. A lot of people have issues. A lot of people shop all the time. That's what they call shopping, because you go and you try things on. You try things on. You don't just automatically see a fit. Man, from lifting and working out, only more recently, in the last 5-6 years, have there been more shirts and apparel that fit fitness and healthy and muscular people with more muscular builds and athletic builds. That's more recent. I used to go and try to get a shirt and it would fit my torso, but then the sleeves would rip because my arms were so much bigger than the average person's arms. Now a lot of shirts are different, or they'll get bigger size. I wear tanks now, or no shirt at all, obviously. But now a lot of times shirts are bigger just because people are fatter, so they have to fit fatter arms. Anyway, and the last one here, negative attitudes and assumptions made solely because of their side at no food fears. Negative attitudes and assumptions. Like what assumption? What assumptions based on someone's size? What assumption? That maybe they're not the epitome of health? Look, it's directly related. If you're obese, you're not, maybe you're in the process of trying to do better. Okay. But you're also there for a reason. You might be in the process of getting better, but at the same time, your body in many cases is your resume. And I'm not saying everyone has to be a fitness model, but yeah, that's the product of what you do. It shows what kind of a person you are. Are you someone that exercises regularly? What do you do? What's your identity? Like, how do you execute your days? What are your priorities? You can tell if someone sits around and just plays fucking video games all day, never gets any sun, never goes outside. You can tell who those people are. They're pale, poor posture. You can tell when someone has good posture and muscle tone. I'm not saying you have to be, 10% body fat. You know what I'm talking about. You can tell when someone actually gives a fuck. Not always at first glance, from a distance, but you know when you see someone who lifts. You know when you see someone who goes to the gym. People that make different choices. Look, when you go to a job, you give your resume. Like, hey, here's what I've done before. Your body is your resume as well. It's not necessarily all about aesthetics, but at the same time, you can judge a lot by the cover. You can judge a lot by the cover. You might not be 100%, but let me tell you, if I see a morbidly obese person, I'm going to be pretty accurate.